Hi, I'm Petrina Edusei, and this is African Mentality. This is where you get all the tea on mental health issues. Today I'm going to be talking about mental health and the African culture. I'm going to talk about the reason why we have the attitude towards mental health that we actually do. Why is it that we shy away from the topic? Why is it that it's hard for us to talk about it? Why is there a stigma around mental health? And my hope is that by the end of this episode, the things that you hear will cause you to challenge your own ideas, share with your friends and family the information that you have gained, and possibly work on your own mental health from the information that you've received. At the end, I will share a personal mental health tip that I believe is useful. So stay tuned for the tea. Exactly. I know, right? Yellow leather. Mindfulness. Where do our ideas about mental health come from? What's the origin? So previously, a long time ago, in many cultures, the church was responsible for running the affairs of communities. And this is what happened. When there were situations where tangible reasons could not be found to explain the reason why something was happening, it was mystified, it was spiritualized, right? So in the West, believe it or not, there was an era where there was a belief that mental health issues were actually caused by evil spirits. Yes, they believed that too. Things would happen that were so atrocious. So for instance, they would have very inhumane exorcisms to cast out evil spirits. They would chain people. So the chaining that we're seeing in our culture these days were things that were happening. And yes, white people were doing it. And that's pretty much where we learned it from. Surprise, surprise, right? But as time went on, as science improved, what was happening was that research was being done and they were discovering that there were certain things that had scientific explanations. But even before that happened, it evolved to different stages. And I'm not going to bore you with the history of mental health, but at some point, there was a belief that you could look at the shape of a person's head or feel the shape of a person's head and tell their personality. There were times when they would drill holes in people's skulls, to help relieve whatever mental health symptoms they were experiencing. There was something called bloodletting, where they would let blood flow out of the person because they believed that it would relieve certain types of mental health issues. There were all kinds of now what we might think of as absurd explanations for mental health challenges. But as I said, as time has gone on, what we've seen a lot in the West is that they have evolved in their beliefs and their understanding of what mental health is. Unfortunately, we're quite late to the game. Unfortunately, if we look at a lot of our African society, we notice that these very outdated ideas about mental health still exist. So we've seen situations where people are still being chained, spirits are being cast out of people because they believe that their mental health challenges are caused by evil spirits. And trust me, there'll be an entire episode on religion and mental health. You will want to watch that. But because we are a very superstitious group of people, these ideologies have stuck with us. And till date, there's a very strong belief that mental health issues are caused by evil spirits. I mean, you know, you've been in church, we watch our African movies, and we see how the spirits are cast out of people. Now, I'm not here to dispel your religious beliefs, but I do believe that there's an over-reliance on religion and spirituality as an explanation for the things we don't understand. But that's what we do as a people. When we don't understand something, we try and make use of the things that we have available to us to explain the things we don't understand, even if that explanation is not valid. Another reason why we think of mental health as we do is because of the influence of medicine. So as time went on again, when scientific research improved, it was found that certain herbs, certain techniques would help cure certain illnesses. And that's another thing that we have imbibed in our African culture, because it's easier to take a pill. It's easier to get medical help for the things that we're dealing with. But as you will come to learn, a lot of mental health issues have physical symptoms. So if you take depression, with some of the symptoms that come with depression are sleep issues, either oversleeping or difficulty sleeping, appetite issues, weakness, lethargy, not having the energy to do the things that you want to do, difficulty concentrating, body aches and pains. So there are a lot of people who go and seek medical attention for situations that are of mental health origin. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with it, but it also means that there's an aspect that's being ignored. So our ideas about mental health in Africa, the superstitious beliefs and then the medical belief, this is where it comes from. This is our attitude towards it. So when you think and you feel a certain type of way about talking about your mental health, it's not because you have chosen to feel that way, but this is the ideology that has been passed down to us. But it's now time to do what? Shake the status quo, because we have the tea on this.